from the very beginning, the WBC wanted to get involved with this fight. And when we as a team said, no, it's not going to happen, there is no WBC, it's not for a world title, we knew that at some point something was going to come up. We spoke to Mr. Suleiman and told him that he was not going to be involved. He then came up with this huge old belt, and I knew that he was going to use that against me in a negative way to make me look like the bad guy, that I wanted nothing to do with the Huchos, with the Huchos. God knows what belt that is, people, just to interject in a quote. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, let me continue with this quote. That's not quite true. Quite the contrary. My entire attire is made by Huchos. Since I've been 14 years old, I've been friends with people from the Hucho culture. All of my fights in Nayarit, they were there. My attire is being made by them. They have been invited. There is a Hucho fighter in my gym. This was just to be done to make me look like a bad guy. This was done by the WBC with other interests. There is a company there on the belt. The belt has been going through a tour, conferences, exhibits at the hotels. Suleiman was pressuring me on a 15-day basis to make a decision on this fight with Golovkin when I had some problems in Miami. You guys know about that. I can't attend one thing and another at the same time. He made it seem like I was afraid of Golovkin, so I gave up the belt. So that's why they are not involved. Not now. I just want you to know one thing. I won that title based on sacrifice, based on training, based on bulls, based on hard work and discipline, and beating a great fighter in Miguel Cotto, so that Suleiman can turn around and hand over it to a guy who didn't even work out or train in the gym, didn't even break a sweat, didn't even fight to earn that belt. So you're going to tell me that that's respectful? Those are the words of Saul Canelo Alvarez. Where do I even begin with this particular story? Now look, sanctioning bodies are not the people who do the hard work. It is the fighters who do the hard work at the end of the day. But sanctioning bodies can give fighters, rightly or wrongly, opportunities. Opportunities to make money, to enhance their careers, to gain prestige, fame and fortune, what have you. And if you look back at Canelo's career, the WBC for the most part have been extremely generous with Canelo Alvarez. They were also very generous with Miguel Cotto when he was WBC middleweight champion. The WBC allowed Canelo to win his first world title, fighting for their vacant belt at light middleweight against Matthew Hatton, of all people, a man who had never fought in the light middleweight division before, who wasn't even highly ranked in the welterweight division, which was his natural division. And yet somehow this Matthew Hatton gets plucked from obscurity. Obviously, I know it's the brother of Ricky Hatton, but as a fighter in his own right, Matthew Hatton was no great shakes. So he gets plucked from obscurity by the WBC and put in there to fight for their vacant light middleweight world title against Canelo. I mean, talk about a gift for Canelo being given Matthew Hatton. There was loads of other light middleweights at the time, top guys who Canelo could have fought for that belt, but no. The WBC did him a massive favor and gave him a massive gift. And since that time, they've allowed Canelo weight, him to be fighting people at these ridiculous catch weights. The judges in WBC fights have been very favorable to Canelo a lot of the time. So for him to then turn around and start talking about the things he's talking about, saying the things he's saying, it's kind of ironic, because it got to the stage where the WBC thought to themselves, you know what, to have any credibility as an organization, we're going to actually have to put pressure on Canelo to fight Triple G. We're going to have to keep our credibility, because we've given Canelo too much leeway over the years. We're going to have to actually stop working for him. The essentially, and bring him into line with the other fighters that we rank in our organization. And Canelo has basically been a diva here. He's thrown a hissy fit because he's used to having things all his own way. He's not used to having to conform to the rules that other fighters have to conform to. He's used to having the rules bent and broken and molded to his own liking. So now the WBC is saying, you know what, no more of that. You're going to be treated like all the other fighters. Canelo is throwing a tantrum. He's saying he don't want to fight for the WBC belt again. That if he fights Golovkin, there'll be no WBC belt on the line, so on and so forth. It is what it is. Canelo is a diva. He's too used to having things his own way. He's like a spoilt brat. A very good fighter. I enjoy watching Canelo fights. Don't get it twisted. I think he's the best combination puncher in the game right now, or at least one of the best combination punchers in the game. I love the way he opens up on people. But the way he behaves outside the ring, when it comes to talking about other fighters, negotiating other fights, and so on and so forth, he's a diva. And he's been very upset, by the way. In fact, I'll probably do a separate video. He's been very upset by some of the things that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has been saying about him. I will do a separate video about it. But for now, let me know what you guys think about this situation between Canelo and the WBC. Do you think the WBC are in the right, or are they in the wrong? Is Canelo in the right, or is he in the wrong? Let me know what you think in the comment section, people. It's Hatman, I'm out.